Okay, so today I have a special guest. I have Jason with me today. Jason has traded with me in the past, and he's now just getting back into trading again with me. And I wanted to show him the new rules that I have, which are the old rules, but very simplified, and it's a heck of a lot easier than originally when I first showed you. Plus, we get a lot more trades, and so far the other people have just jumped on with me recently. I'm doing pretty well. So. Jason's familiar to the program a little bit, but I'm going to bring the screen up and I'm going to walk with him and also with you guys about that at the same time. Answer any questions, do what you want to do, all that sorts of fun stuff. So, perfect. Alrighty. So, we're going to switch to the screen, and this is a very similar screen that you've seen tons of times in the past. Before, I used to talk about the lines in the bottom and the ribbon and all that other stuff. Remember all that?
Oh yeah.
But the biggest thing is just using the parlay parsees. And from when we first started talking about this, like we got maybe 1 to 3 trades when all the systems lined up. Super accurate, but super duper slow.
Right.
So all we're doing now though is that we're looking for the predictive side of where the parlay parsee is going to be. So just it's a really high percentage of wins, but on occasion we do get a loss. So just remember that part. But I'll show you where that loss occurs. But we try to get very streaky and we try to get our money and leave before all that finishes. So what we're going to look at right now, this morning, this is Friday. Fridays are always kind of crazy days, but we have the parlays popping up there, some parsees, just like we used to. And this is just the entire day. Uh, I'm going to kind of fast forward through the middle of the morning part, and we kind of see some pretty good, decent wins out of here. And so all we're looking for, so before we used to have just the gold cross, but behind the gold cross was always the blue cross. Blue cross is always there in the program. But when I talked to Court, he told me to bring it back out and use it as a predictive portion of
Oh,
where
nice.
Parsec is going to be. So literally, I'm putting a sell order in right at the blue cross. And every time that the blue cross moves, I move my sell order or my buy order to that next spot. So for example, I had a sell order here that's down at the bottom 7:37 in the morning, and then the very next one popped up at 7:49, and it sat there until the price came down here. Now it sat for a while, it sat for like 11 minutes, which is super fun until this bar closed. But I was in at this bar, and this is a trade I actually know I did make. And so all I do is I set the sell price right there. It goes in, and when the price comes down, I'm in.
Okay.
So literally, I'm just dragging prices up and down, and I'm waiting for the price to hit it and to get us in and out of that part.
So that's the part where we're adjusting the actual order as we go based on the predicted Blue Cross and where
Yeah,
that
yeah,
trade
exactly.
runs.
Because the Blue Cross is literally telling us where the parlay or where the parse is going to be if it comes down.
Okay.
And so these aren't candles, but if we're showing candles, it would show us exactly where it's at. But using line break bars, it usually shows the bottom. But this little area, if you see that, I'm
Yeah.
trying to like
The
show the
little
little,
tiny red arrow.
yeah, a little tiny red arrow right there, would actually be a little higher and it'd be right where that's at. And
Right.
that blue cross is right where the gold one is, which where's they all correlate. And that's the
Correct. That's
price.
where they meet up.
Yep. So it's pretty, it's for me, it's the easiest way I've had to explain to people like, hey, this is how we do this now. And it just seems like newbies especially seem to grasp on it before, because before I was on the phone for like an hour long conversation and multiple texts back and forth and do all that stuff. And also too, it took away people's um, uh, feelings. It's like
Right.
there's no feelings in trading. And so, if you take away their feelings with it, then you can only trade exactly what this is. Then it's a little easier. Now, in the mornings, I'm talking in the morning. I'm on C3 Algo, and so I tell people because I can't give advice, but I tell people what I'm doing,
Mhm.
and they're able to see my screen as that as well. But I usually say, hey, I'm placing my buy order at this spot. I'm placing my sell order at this spot. And it's easier because I actually have mouse control and I can tell people where it's at. So that part's easier. And then once you kind of get used to it, if I'm not trading, I was talking to a fellow group members out there, and they're like, "Yeah, it's definitely easier. I kind of get used to it, or kind of get good at guessing. I'm off by a tick or two, but But when they trade, they're finding that they're still having success with that part. So,
Awesome.
um, all right. So this little mess right here, even though like it touches, oh, I'm going to show you.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah. So this is a trade I made. This came down right here. And I thought it was going to be in, but the price dropped, so I didn't get in. But I got in at this point right here. Another trade I made was at this spot right here. And then a third trade, just a quick little follow up, was this trade right here. And so literally all we're doing is that we're dragging the buys and the sells up and down to meet this point. And then when we hit it, we all clap. Like, yeah, yeah. This morning, Jason was with us this morning and he's like, I heard lots of clapping. Like, yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. So do you have any questions from what we talked
No,
about from that?
no, what's great is that I like that you have like a little bit of a heads up with that Blue Cross.
Yeah,
So you could really just kind of adjust your trade as you're going
right.
to where that gold cross meets. Because
Before it was you got to pay attention like the blue line cross the yellow line all this stuff, but right now it's literally like, hey, oh, it adjusted, it moved on me. And even if like sometimes I've gotten in and not realized it, like I wasn't paying attention, because the buy order is already there or the sell order is already there, and it only moves when we get a new
bar.
bar exactly.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I'm not paying attention. I'll look over. I'm like, oh shoot, I'm in. Like today I said that like 2 or 3 times. I didn't even realize I was in. And I'm like, did I make money? Oh, yeah. So today,
That's the question.
yeah, did I make money? Am I still in? Am I sweating it? And like, luckily one time I realized I was in and I was sweating because it took like a few minutes. And I was like, oh gosh. But it worked out. So now, because I really like it because you saw the very beginning part of this and now up to this part. So what do you see the differences between from what I showed you now to what I explained way back when?
I like the fact, well, I definitely like the fact that you can take the emotion out of it and just follow the rules. Because I'm a very emotional trader, or I mean, just with anything, gambling, anything like that. So for me, it takes a lot more to be structured or disciplined and not to think that I know something and kind of go
Yeah,
outside of that.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so I appreciate that way better than, before where it was like, okay, did that arrow show up? Okay.
yeah,
But because I'm also one of those guys that I might be happy with just 2 to 3 trades a day and that's it,
yeah.
And so if you know where those are at and you can hit those 3 trades and hit your
Hmm.
goal, you're done. Shut
Now,
the laptop.
these trades, they are streaky because you may not get a trade for 30, 40 minutes. But if you have like an hour, you usually get one trade in an hour, maybe two. And especially in the morning when you get more volatility, the market's, really going up and down. You'll get a few more trades in there. What I like though is that I've actually tested this on the Asian session.
Ooh, nice.
Now the Asian session doesn't move much. Moves just like a couple ticks, just like
Way slow.
yeah, or way slow. But it works on that if I'm just trying to get 2 or 3 ticks. And I've never been able to use the system on the Asian session.
Ooh,
Yeah, so that's kind of fun. And then in the middle of the night, I tried it on the European session too. It worked then too. So
nice.
people that have different schedules that could, you know, are awake when the rest of us are sleeping, then this works for it as well. Um, and also, you don't have to feel bad if you miss because like the very first part, like if you missed that first trade of the day, that could have originally been it. Now if you jump on, you'd be like, oh, cool, I got a trade today, or I got 2 trades today in your hour of time.
Right? Instead of just
So
hitting that 6:30 or 5:30, you
yeah,
now have a little more leeway and can follow those crosses. It sounds
yeah.
like.
Because I was talking to a couple of their traders. I know like you take your kids to school too sometimes. Um, they're like, ah, shoot, I missed the one good trade because I had to
Yeah.
take my kid to school. And so, but now I'm like, don't worry about it. You can have other trade opportunities. So, all right. Well, hey, we're at 9 minutes or so with the video. Just wanted to introduce Jason to back to trading and can throw him on the video for us and try something different for our platform. So, anyways, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day and we'll see you all next time. Thanks now.